Put your hands together for Sprouse!
Hi everyone, how are you? Oh nice, I get to stare at a giant photo of my face.
Ooh, how old were you in that photo?
Perfect, I'll just look at him the whole time.
Do you remember when you took that picture?
No, I don't remember breakfast, to be honest. It's been a very hot day. How are you guys doing? Are you keeping hydrated? Yeah! Are you brushing your teeth and flossing every night?
Yeah. Every night?
Every single night?
Every night?
I don't honestly floss every night.
So that's what I'm saying, every night?
I don't do that every single night.
I really only floss before I'm going to see people.
I floss if I feel like a kernel of corn or
That
something
too.
like teeth.
Yeah. A little something, a little snack for later.
I'm not recommending you guys take this approach at all. I think, in fact, you probably should floss every day. But enough about flossing.
You know what you've done that honestly is my dream? And not acting. Archaeology.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have a tiny dino tattooed right here because I love dinosaurs and I collected all this stuff when I was a little kid. And I would love to work in a museum or something.
Yeah, you gotta get on a dig.
Yeah.
They take everyone, by the way. That's the only reason I got in. It was just like, the bar was really low. They were like, all right, let's just take this kid that's got no experience. No, it was a lot of fun. I studied that for 4 years, and then I honestly didn't expect to come back to acting. And then as I was applying to grad school, my manager begged me to come out to try out for a pilot season, which is like in LA when a bunch of ideas are being tested and they'll start casting for upcoming pilots. She begged me to come out and I said, all right, if I don't book anything, then I'm not doing this anymore. And I booked Riverdale, like the first thing that I did. Thank you. And it was, I kind of used it as a way of going, all right, life is like telling me to go in this direction, but it was probably the biggest fork in the road of my life. Like, it was very clear there were two completely opposite directions that I was going.
Yeah.
And now I'm back, and now I'm sitting here with you guys.
And we're so happy to have you. Here's a deep question. We'll get real serious.
Great.
What does acting mean to you?
Whoa.
I told you, real serious. I get right into the heart of it.
That's very complicated.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I started before I could speak. So for a long time I didn't know. And I think, for anybody that's pursuing something in the arts like painting or photography or acting or music, it always kind of starts as hobbyism or a passion, and then that passion is what compels you to do it. And if you don't have that base, you're left questioning, oh, like what am I actually doing? So for years, I didn't know if I actually loved it, and then I took a break away to go to college to study archaeology. I asked myself this question all the time, and I found myself missing it. I found myself missing performance. And when I got back to Riverdale for the first season, I fell back in love with it. And I think acting, and I think a lot of the entertainment industry is like a big old black hole that only sucks people in that need to do it, like need to express themselves like that. And I think I probably always would have ended up in it. I don't know if there's anything else I could really do like that. And it's incredibly empowering when it's good. It's the greatest profession in the world when it's good. It's a lot of work, but I've gotten really lucky. It's been a part of my life since I was shitting in diapers, which is I've really known nothing else. So it's like it's been like an old friend that I grew up with.
Yeah. I danced for like 20 years of my life, and I always say, like, performance, all that stuff is my therapy. It's where I can release all that energy that I have. Even if I didn't know that angry energy was in me, I am still releasing it through that physical, not just physical, but also an emotional place. Because I would tell my students, I taught for 6 years, that dancing is like being an actor. And the person in the very back of the room should be able to feel your energy and what you're bringing to that story. And if you don't have that passion, that heart, that feeling in yourself, nobody else is gonna
That's
feel
why
it.
I throw up every time I dance, because I want the whole room to be like, I feel this guy's energy, like crazy.
Is that anxious energy?
Yeah, it's just that real anxious energy.
Would you say you're a good dancer?
No, I wouldn't, but that's why I throw up, to distract people away from the fact that I'm bad.
I love that. But do you think there's also a vulnerability that comes with acting when you're...
Yeah, I think because, one of the most important parts of the job is being able to suspend everything around you and be vulnerable, really, really vulnerable. And almost like a childish way. Like, you ever watch like how kids will just go outside and pretend to play, and they'll grab some sticks and they'll hit each other with swords, and they are swords. So, like, those are swords.
Yeah.
And in that way, like, there's a lot of confidence or the ability to suspend what's going on around you in order to do that, and that requires you being really in touch with yourself and really comfortable to be vulnerable and make mistakes. Like, the best actors I've ever worked with are also the ones that are, flopping bad jokes take after take after take, and they're getting one that's really good and really sticks. And that's kind of the process, is that I think as time has gone on, and especially since social media, a lot of us have been more and more afraid to like bomb or make a fool of ourselves, because we feel like that vulnerability is being shown to a stage that's global in a way that we never really had before. But you still have to do it. You still have to be super vulnerable and kind of flop and fall, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, you gotta really be okay with the vulnerability.
And those things are great because you can learn from those experiences.
I mean, I'm sure dancing is the same way.
Yeah.
Like, you get better over time, but you gotta put yourself on stage and do a bad dance.
Sometimes or miss a spot, you go, oh no, I blinked before. Blinked.
Oh yeah. What did you think of the Olympics? You guys see the breakdancing?
I don't think Ray Gun blinked, not once. He performed the whole entire time.
Honestly, that was the most entertaining thing I'd seen at the Olympics.
Yes.
And genuinely, I'm not gonna say too much.
I felt that way. She had so much passion. I go, look, if you're a dancer or you're somebody who does physicality in any kind of way, acting, you know what it's like to actually use all your energy. 100%. If I'm reaching to the back of the room. She definitely had that presence.
She should have thrown up, dude. Everyone would have loved it.
She would have at least scored 1 point.
She would have loved it. She would have loved it. Everyone would have loved it.
Speaking of the Olympics, what do you think you would medal in?
Hammer throw.
Oh, that's what you went with.
I mean, I don't have the build for it. I've never done it. I should make that clear, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
You feel like a barbarian, like swinging around this gigantic thing and then just chucking it. It's gotta be a great angle.
You're right, it probably is.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, do you feel social media is a good thing and a bad thing, right? We can learn a lot, we can share a lot of things.
It's great for cooking.
Right? It is.
So
many tips.
It's horrible for existential crises.
That's it. Yeah.
Also, crazy. But what were you gonna say?
Also, relationships. I'm sure it connects you to your fans more.
Yeah.
But it also kind of gives people a little sense of that parasocial relationship where they think they know you and stuff. What are some common misconceptions people have about you or you and your brother, like of you guys being twins?
I mean, all the normal twins ones. I got a weird relationship with social media though. I posted a photo of my gigantic ass cheeks on my Instagram.
I saw that. Did you guys see that? We saw that. I did.
So now everyone, it's clearly photoshopped. But now a lot of people think I have a donkey.
Yeah, some junk in the trunk.
Donkey, which is cool, but I don't. I'm not as active on social media as I used to be. I think the game has changed quite a bit. I also just find that I, probably most of us, compare my worsts to people's bests on social media all the time. And it's a form, of social contact that usually involves you always putting your best foot forward. So you get a really kind of confusing idea of how people are actually doing. So I just kind of get off it. I think, you know, I think my publicists hate that. But I don't know. I think spend as much time on it as makes sense. I think social media is kind of evil. Evil.
A few people agree with you in here.
Yeah, I think it is. It can be great for cooking videos though.
So is that what we would find in your algorithm, is cooking videos?
Yeah. A lot of anime too. A lot of anime. A lot of video game stuff.
What fandom do you follow? What's your favorite?
What fandom? I mean, I'm a big One Piece guy. That's what it's always been. But I'm up to date on everything. Up to date on everything. Big video game. I just met Neil back there.
Oh, yeah, he's the best, isn't he?
He's a Starian in Baldur's Gate 3.
He is amazing.
I mean, I geeked out on that. Yeah, I mean, I did, the problem is now you get recommended stuff that other people like, and one of my buddies is loving pictures of grilled meats. And like half of my page now is just like, smokers and grilled meats.
Yes.
Like the green egg. And you're like, I don't care. But it does look good.
Yes, it doesn't make you hungry. It's so terrible.
Like a real 48-hour slow-cooked brisket. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, brisket's my favorite.
Okay, I'm getting wildly off topic.
I would say I will ask you one more question before I throw it to the audience. So you guys, just so you know, there's a mic over here, I believe. Is there a mic on each side over here? Maybe. Oh,
Yes,
yeah, we got
I see
thumbs up. I see some thumbs
I
up.
see them.
So you guys can start lining up. Just, you know, the only rule I will have is one question per person, so we can get through as many questions as possible. I was like, don't run. You don't have to run. No big deal. Since you were on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody as a young lad, and most of us here in this room didn't probably get paid when we were young to do anything. So we had to, you know, mow lawns, do chores around the house, save up some money to buy something. Did you ever have to save up your money to buy something that you wanted? Did your dad ever say, like, no, you can't have that yet, you need to?
Dude, I've always wanted a slam ball court. Do you guys remember what slam ball was?
Oh my god, yeah!
Deep cut, right? Slam ball was just a basketball court where the whole ground was trampolines. And I still have this fantasy that I'm gonna get it. I actually have no idea how much they cost. I could probably, I could do it. I could do it now. I could do it.
Start hosting your own tournaments, would that be great with your friends?
No, this is tangential, but I jumped on a trampoline recently for the first time in years, and it is really fucking exhausting.
Yes.
I used to be able to do that shit for ages when I was a kid. Now I got like 5 minutes in me on a trampoline, and I go crazy. I also smoke cigarettes, so okay. Thank you.
I understand. I played trampoline dodgeball.
Yeah.
Fun, but very competitive. Let me tell you.
With strangers just pitching dodgeballs at 6-year-olds' heads. That's great pastime.
Intense. We'll start over here with the evil queen, because I feel like if I start anywhere else, I might get in trouble.
Hello.
Hi Cole, I love you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah, and I was wondering if you would ever want to be in a musical on Broadway, and who you would want to work with, that you've worked with before, and like what musical you would want to be in.
Ooh, that's a good question. I was never really a singy guy. I got contractually obligated to sing on Riverdale. But I've had the pleasure of watching people who are really trained in that, like Casey Codd, who was on Riverdale as well. He went to Carnegie Mellon, he's trained in musical theater. It is an incredibly tasking and really impressive thing to do. And it involves you know, a lot of rehearsal in the same performance, sometimes 2-3 times a day, every day in New York City. I would love to train to be able to do that, because I don't feel like I would have just the stamina to do that as of now. I can only jump for 5 minutes on that.
Thank you, I'd love to see you in a musical.
Thank you. Start using your diaphragm. You gotta use your diaphragm when you sing, you know?
I'll be Audrey too in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah,
and just sit in a plant.
I love it. Feed me. Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name's Cindy, and I had a random question. So I was wondering where your favorite place was to travel for acting or for anything.
Wherever pays, baby.
Favorite place to travel? I really love New Orleans. I really love New Orleans. Thank you. I've shot two. We shot Lisa Frankenstein in New Orleans, and then we shot a movie called 5 Feet Apart in New Orleans. And I love that city. But it's interesting, you know, the industry towns like film and television has moved across the United States and often to Canada and elsewhere, and it kind of changes every year where the new spot is. Now it's like Budapest. A lot of stuff shoots in Budapest. A lot of stuff shoots in Atlanta. A lot of stuff shoots in New Orleans. A lot of people are going to Cleveland now. There's a big incentive to go to Arkansas and Indiana. I mean, there's a lot of, it changes, but New Orleans, I've shot there twice, and the city just gives you a lot. It's really rich culturally. It's got delicious food. The people are really sweet. There's music pumping out of every restaurant in the streets. It's a lot of fun. So I always love going to New Orleans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Cole.
Hi.
What has been the most rewarding aspect of your acting career so far?
So I mentioned it earlier. I got one of, I mean, there's been so many, but one of the coolest things that I hung on to as a kid was I got to work with the Muppets once when I was young. So Disney Channel did this like Muppets publicity thing, and I got to work with Miss Piggy. And I'm a real geek for like set design and special effects and practical effects, and they built the entire stages with alleyways that would run through them like canals, where the Muppeteers could have their arms suspended completely up so that Miss Piggy would be on my level, as an example. And I just remember watching them construct all this stuff and then watching the Muppeteers actually get to work. They never broke character. They would improv completely in character. When the cameras were not rolling, they would talk to each other as the Muppets. It was incredible, and I got to hold Kermit earlier, one of the real Kermits. I have it on my phone. I would like to let you guys know I take full advantage of coming to these conventions in the same way that you guys do, in that I absolutely abuse most of the talent backstage for photos and opportunities. I can hold Kermit too. I love Kermit. I'm doing that every time I'm in the green room.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I just wanted to say that you were kind of a role model for me to actually do theater in high school and graduate college in theater, so thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And my question to you is, when it came to Lisa Frankenstein, what was the funniest and most challenging moment for you?
The funniest moment on that set was someone had stolen the prosthetic penis out of that, and no one knows who has it or where it is. And then everyone blamed me. It's like, all right, I don't have it. Challenging. Well, we really broke down the way the character moves physically according to how human he is throughout the script, which took a lot of time in the pre-production cycle. But then, you know, the other challenging part is just sitting still for 7.5 hours in a makeup chair as it all, you know, gets put on you. But like I mentioned, I'm like such a big fan of the practical effects process that it made it a lot easier. But then it's also hot as balls in New Orleans, and you're under, you know, 7 hours of prosthetics and effects, so you're really sitting there, and what happens is you're sealed, so your sweat falls into your gullet like a frog's pouch, and they have to drain it. Now, is this not cool to be?
I love this.
Everyone's going, oh!
I love it. Tell us.
This is movie magic, baby. This is how it works. You know? As the whiz behind the curtain. So yeah, I kept getting drained like my frog's pouch. Woo!
How
Am
long-
I killing this or what?
How long did it take to take off the makeup after that?
About 2 hours.
2 hours. So
Yeah.
still like that, they're over there doing it little by little for you and not ripping it off.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2 of the nights I just went home and went to sleep with some of it on because I was like, guys, I'm so tired.
So tired.
Yeah, and we'll just get it off in the morning. But I love that stuff. I really do. And we worked with one of the greatest FX houses in the game. They've done everything. And I got to go to their actual warehouse, which is the most like completely hidden thing in the world. And you walk in and you see all the Terminators and Iron Man, and you know, you see the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park.
So cool.
And it's just most of the Mandalorian like practical effects, and you're going like, this is legit.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a smaller movie. Like they really elected to do our movie because they loved the script, which was incredibly flattering. But it was a big check mark for me, for sure.
Yeah, love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, love you, Cole.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, this is from the first season of Riverdale, but how do you think this quote has aged since then?
Dude, I'm excited for this.
Whatever this
On the
is.
exit
This is
seat.
gonna go hard as hell. That's all. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. And have you seen me without the super hat? That's weird. How do you think that has aged since then and for the rest of the show?
You know what's funny? First off, great rendition. What's funny is, at the time you don't know what like lines people are gonna remember, but only since coming to this convention was I signing Funko Pops from like certain things, and I'm realizing, oh, people are wanting certain lines from projects. That I signed some for Big Daddy. They're like, hey, I wipe my own ass, or I signed things from Riverdale, and they're like, I'm weird, I'm a weirdo, and you don't realize when it happens that like there's this entire universe that's being created behind this one line. And so now it's like the line people think about from that character, which is, I think, awesome, but at the time we had no idea what it was going to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, hi.
Hello. What is your favorite thing to cook, bake, or smoke, food-wise?
Can we get some
The crack.
The food wise, that's very funny. I'll tell you, smoking food wise, candied salmon. That's the one real thing that I stole from Vancouver, was a killer smoked candied salmon. So I like that. I like to cook. I cook so much. I like to bake angel food cake. I started in baking, and then I went to smoking crack.
That's usually the transition. that
Yeah,
you follow.
that's kind of how it goes. You start with the science of crack.
Gotta weigh everything out.
I'm like a big believer in opposite action, or like contrary action. Like, usually if you wake up in the morning and you go, that's the last thing I want to do, just do it right there, do it. Like immediately do it. And it just changes everything about your day. Like nothing, like you don't really confront that kind of laziness or that wanting to sort of on the couch anymore, and it helps a lot. But like you said, getting off and going to the gym and immediately doing
Distracting yourself.
Of course.
It's
Totally.
a great tool.
Totally.
Hi, hello. Are we invited to the
Mad
tea party?
Hi. Are you sad at all that Archie and Jughead didn't get to kiss in Riverdale?
Who said we didn't? No, that's just real life. Honestly, there were so many storylines we were doing that at one point we were just like, all right, point us where we're going. Nah, not really. Not really. Yeah. I haven't really thought about it too much. Maybe ask me next convention, I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, wait a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, hi.
Hi, my
Hi.
name's Charlie. I had a question involving Riverdale. Jughead is typically like a goofier character in the comics.
Yeah.
What was personally your approach to making him more darker because Riverdale took a darker turn?
You know, I think a lot of tone is really, I mean, I think actors can add a lot to it, but we're always building from what's already there. You know, I think that we were not a show that improv'd a lot or like kind of took creative liberties on the acting side. So all that tone is really thanks to, and I'm going to give credit where it's due, to cinematography and the writers and the directors and the editors. But I wanted to make him feel like an emo kid. Because that's kind of the way it fit. You know, like we were still trying to tie him into like a real world setting. And then the dialogue and everything else just kind of handled the rest.
Okay, cool. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, hi.
Hi, hello. As a fellow foodie, I have a really important question. I feel like you'll have some great insight.
Let's go.
So, do you think that a hot dog is a sandwich?
Damn, is this like a big debate? Everyone, oh right, oh shit. Oh my god. I think a hot dog is a gift.
That was a great answer.
I should run for office. Thank you, that's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you for eloquently dodging the question.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello! Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hello.
So first of all, a hot dog is a taco because it's like wheat and then it's meat on top.
You started the war. I didn't have anything to do with it.
All right. Okay. Actual question. So what is the weirdest interaction you've ever had in the wild?
Interaction
Yeah,
I've ever
like
had in the
just-
wild? I had a girl throw a frog at me once that she had bought at Petco.
A live frog.
A green tree frog. My brother and I were at Starbucks back when we were on Disney getting some coffee before the day, and this father and daughter came out of Petco, which was in the same shopping center, and the father was like, hey, do you mind if my daughter takes a photo with you? And we were like, oh, sure. You want a photo? And she goes, no. And we were like, okay, no problem. And she goes, but I'll show you my frog. And she just reached in the bag, threw it at me. Someone's got to check on her, actually, now that I'm saying it.
Find her. We gotta find her.
Yeah, that I'm starting to see some things that worry me about that.
Did you give the frog back?
Well, yeah.
You're like, it's my frog now.
I mean, honestly, I'm sure I would have treated him better than that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so that one was strange, thanks.
Hopefully she named him Cole.
I mean, it sounded like she didn't like Dawn and I at all.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Cole.
Hello.
I just wanted to say that you did amazing in the Sweet Life series, and
Thank
my
you.
question is actually about the Sweet Life series.
Okay.
So, what was your favorite scene or like moment like during the whole like Sweet Life series? Like something your core memory?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this a couple times, but when you film like that many episodes across that length of time, a lot of it actually kind of becomes one big amorphous memory. Like it's like one big memory. But a couple of the episodes that really stand out to me are, we filmed like the commercial for the Tipton, where we're all singing, and all of a sudden we found out Phil had like a beautiful voice to play Mr. Mosby. We were like, damn, all right. The superhero episode I remember a lot. Yeah, we had a horse named Tippy or something. And I told this story to someone earlier, I don't know where we found this horse, but it was not a trained show horse. So we brought it in an old sitcom style. We used to perform in front of a live audience every Friday. And it was set up like a theater. You had big stages that were permanent sets. And that set, the permanent set, always faced the audience. So for us, that was the Tipton's lobby. And we got this horse who wasn't a trained show horse and brought him onto a well-oiled machine of a show with a permanent set. And that horse pissed everywhere. And I don't know how much time you guys spend around horses. They piss a lot. Like a lot. He saturated the lobby. Like actually, like that should have been the episode. Was like we brought a horse that flooded the lobby. And it was so bad we had to replace the permanent set.
Hi, hello.
Hi. As you can tell by my outfit, I love Lisa Frankenstein.
Thank you.
I'm you. And what was it like to be a main character, like love interest, without having like the dialogue to play around with and like go back and forth with your co-star?
You know, at first I was like, this is great. I was like, I'm not gonna have to memorize this thing. This is gonna be awesome. And it proved to be actually far more difficult than having dialogue, in my opinion, because I think, like I mentioned earlier with, you know, building Jughead, we get to really play around with what we're given. And when you're not given a lot, you really have to build a lot more. So this was one of the first projects that I worked extensively before we even got to set. Like I trained with a mime. I mean, we worked a lot. We built him to feel a bit more like an old Buster Keaton type. And it was really fun when it worked, like really well. Zelda, the director, assured me that most of my shots were going to be sort of wider shots so that we could catch more physicality, which helped out a lot. But I had always wanted to play a monster, so the whole process felt really empowering and really playful, and it was different. And it made me nervous, which was something I normally use as like the barometer to do it. And yeah, I mean, I had an incredible time. It was challenging, but a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what I always tell people too. If you're not scared to do it, you should have a little fear. If something that you want and you want to do, it should be a little scary. Because if it isn't, I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, you gotta care.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta really care, and I think sometimes fear is like a good indication that you care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the most emo shit I've said maybe in years.
Good, I'm glad we got it out of you. Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to know what was your favorite episode on Riverdale to shoot and why?
The first season lives really fondly in my mind, and I think because usually when a first season is filmed, at least we were 13 episodes back then, we filmed the entirety of the first season before the first episode was even released. So all of us were just really like, man, I hope this thing takes off. I really hope this project turns out well. We were all really pushing ourselves a lot. I don't know about a singular episode, but I think the entirety of that first season lives really well. And then the last season, you know, I really loved. When we did that season, which when we went back to sort of like 50s Archie, like golly shucks Arch, that made us all almost wish the show had been set like that the entire time. It was so much fun to play around like that. Like a sort of teenage Mad Men was like really exciting. So I loved all the old costume and the period piece stuff. A lot of that stuff lives really well. But I think the first season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
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 Okay, so I had my mom basically empty out all the Danimals growing up to try to win that damn cruise.
Hey, we're here now.
Did it ever happen?
Yes.
Did somebody win that cruise?
Yes.
Because the internet says
The
no.
cruise?
It wasn't
No,
it like
I don't know if they won the
something.
cruise. I mean, I'm not going to tell you the full story up here on camera, but I will say someone did win the sweepstakes, and we flew to meet them, and the story, which I will not repeat, involves a dead deer, a truck, a birthday, and a skateboard.
It's like a Mad Libs.
That's all I'm gonna say about it, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason why no one knows that tale. So I'll let your guys' minds build whatever you want out of that. But yes, someone did win.
Well, thank you. That's
Someone
good
also
closure.
lost. No, that's not true. Someone won.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hi.
Hi Cole, I
Hi.
love you. I
Thank
just want
you.
to ask a question about Riverdale base.
Cool. Of course.
Jughead is typically someone that loves to write and stuff. So my question is, do you love writing him just like he does?
I do. I'm not that good at it. I don't really have the attention span for it. Like, I wish I did. I wish I could say, I'm a writer. I'm not. Like, I will often pick something and be like, this is a really cool idea. Put it pen to paper. 3 days later, be like, I'm gonna go play video games again. Just put it down for months, you know, and not return to it. So I don't know if I have that thing. You know, Stephen King talks about writing, and he's like, you gotta treat it like a job. I get up every day at the same time, and I write. And I write until I have this amount of pages, and I do it again the next day. I don't do that. And he's probably right, that's the way to do it, but I just don't have that bug. I love to, but maybe I don't know. Nah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll grab one last question before I let you go. Hi.
Hi, love.
Hi.
I'm Jazz. My friend
Jazz.
wants to say happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
And my question is for the One Piece fans in the room.
Yeah.
If you were a character in the show, both anime and live action, what character would you want to be?
Ooh, you know, I know Matt really well, who does the One Piece live action, and we were friends. We talked, you know, back in the day before he even got it off the ground. I think, that's a really good question. Maybe Wapo? No, I want to choose something a bit. I'll get really shredded and play Kaido. Huge. Or Big Mom. I'd kill Big Mom, I gotta be honest. I would kill Big Mom. Yes. And I'm gonna tell Matt actually, hey bud, if you make it to, you know, Whole Cake Island or whatever that arc is called, I'm Big Mom. Don't even think about it.
Mama.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you guys for being here. Can you give it up for Cole Sprouse?
Thank you guys. Thank you.
You can check him out at his table today. So if you didn't get to ask a question, by all means, go see him downstairs.
I just want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members, the Arctic Operators, Salima Ramirez, Stephen Heffelman, Thomas Franco, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, and Austin White. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that share button, and if you can, please sign up to be a member today. We have 3 membership power-ups. We have the Gold Ranger power-up, the most popular. You get into our exclusive fan club chat group. We have fan exclusive videos that we are adding monthly now, and you get a video shout out. Yes, folks, at the end of our videos, I will shout out your name. We also have the Quantum Ranger Power Up, where you get monthly meetings online with me. Yes, folks, we will talk once a month on Zoom, and you can give me your ideas for future episodes. And then we have a professional package, the Dr. K Power Up. That is for businesses that want to tap into the platform. If you guys can, please sign up to be a member today. It is highly appreciated, and it helps us keep these videos going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.